RPS. Live from Primavera Sound 2022. Proudly presented by Cupra.
Welcome to Radio Primavera Sound once more. It is our last interview of the day. It's been a very pleasant day, and we could not have a better guest than an artist who utterly rocked the Primavera Weekender back in November. Remi Wolf. Remi, thank you so much for coming.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Can I ask one question? When you played the Primavera Weekender,
Yes.
was there any point at which you looked out at the crowd and thought, why the hell am I playing a medieval jousting venue?
Yeah, I thought that probably like 100 times that day. Yeah, but it was actually really fun. It was like a really weird way to kick off my tour and just kind of like loosened up the whole vibe a bit. Yeah, and we were in the jousting arena, so it was very dusty.
It literally had sand on the floor. I mean,
Yeah.
it was quite strange.
Yeah, it was strange, but it was fun. It was a fun one.
You're playing a more normal stage, which is the Binance, which we can see from here at 150, so everyone get it right. How are you feeling?
How am I feeling?
Playing Primavera and being in Barcelona?
I feel good. I mean, it's beautiful here. I've never been here, so I'm still trying to like kind of catch the vibe and gather all the information. But I saw Dua Lipa last night, and that was really fun. And yeah, the water's beautiful.
Yeah,
So,
we're literally next to the sea.
yeah, it's very, very awesome. And I'm just excited to meet everybody, see everybody out there. Thanks for coming.
So when did you arrive here? So you got to see Dua Lipa, which I was also there. It was amazing.
Yeah, I arrived, I think, yesterday.
It's been a whirlwind few weeks,
Honestly,
I reckon.
I actually didn't. I got here 2 days ago. Yeah, I had time's all weird. It's all relative when you're
today
traveling.
we were just asking what month it is, so I get the feeling of not knowing which day it is, what year it is.
Yeah,
like,
it's
everything.
June, right?
It is June. We
Okay.
can officially
Apparently.
confirm, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
So apart from not having the right like time adjustment things, I feel like you grew very much like online, meaning like you grew through TikTok, especially your song going viral, and it was also during a time where we weren't like big stages and big venues weren't open yet. I feel like, how does it feel to now play these huge audiences and getting to see like the numbers you saw in your phone and you know that they were real, but now getting to see like these are humans, not only numbers. How does that feel?
Yeah. It feels great, to put it plainly, I guess. It feels natural, like I'm a person. And like, yeah, I guess it doesn't feel as disbodied and dismembered as it felt during COVID. And I feel like I was just kind of like, this is very cliche to say, but I was just kind of born to be on stage. And it's like one of my favorite things to do. And I made my album to be performed live. Like I had my live show in mind the whole time while making it. So it just feels like a very natural thing. And I've been performing for so long that it feels natural. Just feels natural. And it's nice that there's big crowds that are coming out. That just makes the energy way more fun. Yeah.
How can people in the crowd make a good gig for you?
I think the best shows are when it feels like a mutual exchange. Like I'm feeding them and they're feeding me back, so it doesn't take as much out of me. It's like a mutual giving situation. So like whether that be just like, I don't know, showing some love, making some noise, putting your hands in the air. Yeah, and just like try to have a good time and let loose and have fun, because I'm trying to have fun. So hopefully
I bet
you
we'll
guys can have some fun.
I was going to say, I hope they're taking notes.
Yeah.
The hand thing, the screaming. Okay, noted. You've achieved a lot in a short amount of time. At least it feels like from the outside. I bet you've been putting so much work. It doesn't feel like a short amount of time. What is the moment you have in your head that you feel like you're the most proud of, or the moment that you felt like, wow, I'm really making it as an artist, that it's something I always wanted to do, and this made me feel like I achieved that?
That's a good question. I feel like I don't know if I'll like ever really feel that, to be honest. I mean, there's been like moments where I've played like a big show. I think maybe when I opened for Lord, like that first show of Lord, I was like, okay, this is something. But I don't know. I feel like I'm just, for me, everything feels a lot slower than it must feel for people on the outside, because I'm just like living my life in my own body. But and I don't know. This whole lifestyle comes with so many challenges and like ups and downs that it can just. Sometimes it's hard to keep everything in perspective. But if I do pull out, and like try to view it from a bird's eye view, it is pretty crazy.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's good that when you were talking about it, that it feels natural, but because it can also easily get overwhelming. But if you like, it is a good thing that it comes natural to you and that you can exchange the energies with the audience and stuff. So good for you in that sense. I also wanted to ask you, because some of my favorite things about your music and stuff is your songwriting, because some of the lyrics to me are just the funniest I've ever heard. And I wanted to ask you, what's your favorite one? Because I have one that I really strongly think it's one of my favorite lyrics. Do you have one that you think I'm so funny?
One lyric where I think I'm so funny. Do I have a lyric where I think I'm funny? I don't really think I'm all that funny.
You are.
To be honest,
really?
I wouldn't say.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't really like go into the lyrics like trying to be funny. I'm kind of just like emoting. So it's. I think it's funny that people think I'm funny. I don't know a lyric that I really like. I guess probably. The verses of Sexy Villain, I think, are pretty good. I like the Sexy Villain verses. I guess I was pretty funny in that song. That's a pretty funny song.
What's better than Two Girls, Two Cups? It's actually a pretty funny lyric.
Quiet on Set. Yeah, that one was crazy. See, I view that as just like pure mania. But I guess that is pretty funny too. The two girls, what is it? What's better than two girls? Two cups. Two cups.
And it's an iconic like lyric because everyone has this shared trauma. So
I know, we all have this shared trauma.
Do you know what? I don't know where I've been living, but I didn't know what that was until after we'd seen
you
your
had
gig.
to search
Oh,
it.
really?
No, someone explained it to me, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't need to know that." So your song introduced me to this delightful.
Oh, great! I'm so happy I could do that for you. Yeah, there's a lot of other videos during that era that I feel like are equally traumatizing, like Cake Farts. You know, Cake Farts.
No.
Chicken.
I will not search it. I will not go back to
No,
that.
There's too much. There's too much weird porn shit that happened during that time.
Yeah, especially I feel like we're the same age and we were so young getting to watch these videos but here we are. We're normal human beings after all. Plot twist. It shouldn't have happened, but
I guess we turned out okay.
Yeah, it couldn't be much worse. And you were saying I didn't want to. Maybe it sounded offensive that I said your lyrics are very funny because a part of them are very funny, but it's also like you have this other side which is almost like sad and very intimate, and you like you said, you just take it all out and it becomes like a song and a lyric. Like for example, obviously Liquor Store is like a journey that you went through with sobriety. But one of the things that got me thinking about having this kind of lyric and making it a danceable like tune and like a bop, does it feel weird to you, like mixing these two things? Obviously not, because that's your music, but how does that play, like singing something that it felt like intimate and sad and then dancing to it?
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't think about it really when I'm writing. I mean, I love upbeat music, and I like belting, and I think that's what feels best a lot of the time. Like it just naturally comes out. And then my lyrics are also just like naturally coming out. But I guess, yeah, when I do think about it, it's an interesting play, because for the live performance, it's like there's a lot for me to kind of like sink into. I don't know, there's so much to explore within each song dynamically and performance-wise. And yeah, like I can choose a lot of different ways to emote each song, if that makes sense. But yeah, I guess it's just how I write. It's kind of hard to speak on it because it's just how I've been doing it for a while. But yeah, I think in my most recent writing process that with all these songs that you guys haven't heard that I have locked away in my basement, I'm like experimenting with other stuff, so
okay.
We'll see.
Now,
Can we get like a sneak peek of what experimenting with other stuff means to you?
Just more. I think with a lot of my writing and a lot of the songs that are out now, it's been a lot of like super freestyle, free flowing stuff, and I'm still kind of writing from that viewpoint. But I think my writing keeps getting a little bit more intimate. Just as time goes on, I'm just getting like more and more intimate. And I think it's just as I'm getting kind of older and more just in touch with everything that's going on in my body. I have more to say and explore and like kind of a more just like dynamic human way. I don't know.
now
It sounds like something I want to hear now.
Yeah.
I am very much not the same age as you. I'm a bit older, and I very much remember the 90s. And like I get, maybe you disagree, but I get a lot of 90s from your music, and that is a very, very good thing, because I like the 90s a lot. And I get a lot of Neptunes, and I get a lot of things. I mean, is that fair to say, like the 90s?
For sure. I mean, the best era of music, in my personal opinion.
Why do you think that?
I think it was just raw. It was like one of the most raw periods of music. It was like coming out of the 80s where everything was polished and pop and drum machines and synths, and everybody was going crazy with the, I don't know, like 80s was kind of shiny. It was still like kind of rock and roll, but there was a shine to it. And I think the 90s kind of flipped that on its head and just like went so, everything was punk, whether it sounded punk or didn't sound punk. It was the energy of the 90s was punk, which I love.
I often think you remind me a lot of Beck.
Oh yeah, he's my favorite. He's my favorite ever. Yeah, he's the best. His album Guero is like one of my favorite albums of all time. I deeply love that album. Yeah, and I love like Liz Phair. She's like one of my favorite artists too. Her album Exile from Guyville, which came out in like 93, is like one of my favorite albums of all time. Yeah, the 90s are great. Really great. Really, really good music.
I hope my children are listening. They always say the 90s is awful. That's why I like it.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, they're awful children. Yeah.
Well, now that you were talking about your favorite artists, you have actually been praised by a lot of renowned artists today and stuff. Like, who is the one that shocked you most? Like, why is this person saying my name?
Maybe Beck, honestly. Like, yeah, when I first got in contact with him, that was like very, very shocking to the system. I don't know. John Mayer was kind of crazy for me just because he was such a huge figure in my childhood. So that was pretty wild. I don't know. There's a lot of people I know at this point, so it's kind of hard. But and a lot of them have become like my friends, which I'm really grateful for. It's like I'm so grateful to have just amazing artists around me to kind of guide me directly or indirectly through this life, because it's a weird one. But yeah, maybe Beck. This is quite interesting.
Yes.
Do you like being in our goldfish bowl?
Yeah.
Welcome to the goldfish bowl. Everyone says hi, and it's very nice.
Everybody looks nice. It's a big fashion show.
Well, these are the people who are going to be there at 1:50 this morning.
Yeah. Let's go.
Exactly.
Talking about fashion and seeing fashionable people, I love your aesthetics because it's a really important part of your project, and it's something that I really appreciate when artists curate like a world of their own, and you obviously have done that to the maximum. And what are some of your inspirations when creating like the Remi Wolf world?
The Remi Wolf world. A lot of it just comes like straight out of my ass. Like
Fair enough.
Just like we'll be brainstorming for a video or something, and we'll just shoot the shit for 10 minutes and be like, all right, there's the concept, let's go. And just kind of rock with that. I don't know, I'm pretty seat of my pants. I'm not really a planner. So I'm kind of just like getting my ideas out there, and sometimes we're like, it's a good one. And I work with my creative director, Haley, who's back in LA, but we kind of do everything together and just act and act as a soundboard, which is really fun. But I don't know, I think I just really like color. I really like interesting ideas, and I try to do things that I haven't seen before in a lot of ways. And I think like a lot of my earlier work, I was very referential of a lot of like children's shows, which I'm kind of getting away from now. I'm kind of getting a little bit more demure, but yeah, I don't know. The children's shows themes were very prevalent in like a lot of the Juno music videos and a lot of the videos from my EPs as well.
That's the thing that came to my mind first when I saw your videos and all your like the Remi Wolf world. It was like, oh, that's the world of the cartoons I saw when I was little, like Totally Spies and kind of things like that have a lot of color. But now you look back and you're like, that was actually amazing. Like they look so good still now and being like grown up. So
I think a common theme that I think will continue to be something that is prevalent in my work is just like this kind of surrealism and like an escapism, which I think a lot of those early music videos have. And I'm trying to keep like kind of that essence throughout everything, throughout my music, throughout all my visuals, through myself, everything.
So you're working for what you've been saying. You've been working on a new project, and we can expect like a new era coming, because I feel like all the music you've put out since now, like until English, words, till now, has been like very related, like the dog thing, Juno being like, is it like the full stop of a very long saga, or is it gonna be matched but like in another sense? What can we expect?
There's gonna be some stuff. I actually, it's kind of early on in the project, so there's still a lot of brainstorming, but I would expect animals. I would always expect animals.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great
Animals
thing
are
to
always
expect.
there. I don't know why it's such a theme in my life, but I'm very drawn to creatures.
What's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? Right now, my favorite animal is a frog.
Great
Nice.
answer. I love frogs.
They're very cute.
Yeah, and weird.
And they're very weird.
Yeah.
And they live in two different worlds. They live in the water and the land.
And they
Which I
breathe
think is
through
crazy.
their skin? Like,
Yeah.
Why would you do that? Because
Why
they're-
would
To
you do
survive,
that?
I guess.
Why would you do that? I don't know.
Better than not breathing, I guess.
Talking about your album and stuff, have you been producing all the new stuff that may be coming? Or because one of your things is that you produce, and maybe once again, women being producers, it's not an easy thing for recognition. Not that it's difficult for us to produce
Right.
just because we're women, but how is that going? Like,
That's good. I'm producing everything constantly. Yeah, it would be weird if I didn't. So
yes, because you have been doing since the beginning.
Yeah.
And have you managed to find a way of either not caring that people is not the first thing that they recognize, like, oh yeah, you're a producer, or you managed so people, like, even though it's difficult in the industry, they respect you and see you as the producer that you are?
I think I haven't had too many issues with that. I think that I like carry myself as a producer, and I just kind of have ideas. So I'm just telling everybody my ideas in the room, whether I'm like working by myself, like with old collaborators or new collaborators. I'm pretty like forward with my thoughts and my opinions, and I know the language of it, so it's not like the barrier's less when you actually are able to like speak the language. But yeah, this is the producer label is such a weird label. It means so many different things. Like back in the 80s, producers didn't touch the computer. They didn't touch the board. They were pretty much the director. And it's kind of evolved into this thing where it's like people think that you're only producer if you're like an absolute, like if you're an engineer and you're and you play instruments and you know all the pedals and you know all about the gear. Like everybody has their own thing, and everybody's equally a producer in that way. Like I barely touch the computer, but I'm like directing the room. I can touch it if I want to, but I fucking hate it. So why would I do it when people can do it way better than me and faster? So yeah, I feel like if maybe the word producer was explained out a little more, people would have a little bit more understanding of like what it really means. And I don't know. I guess it means something different to everyone, but yeah, girls are great.
And that seems like a good note on which I'm afraid we have to end things. It's been an absolute pleasure. 150 at Binance Stage. And as someone who saw you play live about 8 months ago, I mean, these people are going to go anyway. But anyone, I just thoroughly recommend you go because it is an incredible experience. And give back the love as well.
Yes, I would love that.
Thank you so much for being here, for
thank
talking
you for
to
having
us.
me.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. Bye, guys.
Quiet on set. RPS. Live from Primavera Sound 2022. Proudly presented by Cupra.